Where to begin with Sameer Saxena? He is easily one of the most hardworking, studious, and ambitious people that I have ever known. When I met Sameer in 4th grade, my first thought was, I bet this guy is smarter than me. And now, after having spent 9 years with him, I know that I was right about that initial thought. From Singapore math in lower school to his mastery of Tess of the D'Urbervilles, he has proved himself time and time again as one of the most intelligent students in the school. Sameer's academic accomplishments are highlighted by his outstanding junior squash career. I can confidently say that Sameer is one of the only future Division I athletes willing to take differential equations, multivariable calculus, and AP Physics C second semester senior year. His motivational speeches before every squash match have strongly contributed to our team's number 2 rank in the nation. In addition to his academic and athletic pursuits, Sameer has found time to be our grade's vice president and to teach coding to children at Belmont Charter School, a program that he spent over 75 hours on last year. However, all of these accomplishments barely scratch the surface of who Sameer really is as a person. Not only is he hardworking, studious, and ambitious, as I said before, but he is also funny, kind, and honest. These traits often go unnoticed because of his vast success in other fields, but together they make up Sameer's superlative character. Please stand to greet Sameer Saxena.
Thank you. Please be seated. I am incredibly lucky. I'm willing to stand up here and say there's not a single point in my life where I've been unlucky. Have I faced problems? Yes. Have I ever felt depressed? Yes. Have I ever had even the tiniest inkling of a suicidal thought? Yes. A study was published recently saying that 1 in 5 students would face a suicidal thought in a given school year. This speech is a message to all high school students because I know from personal experience how unbearable these 4 years can be. Junior year was the best and worst year of my life. In the end, I got where I wanted to be. Yet I found myself unhappy, burdened by many stresses, and of course I wanted to give up. Everyone has had thoughts of giving up. Everyone has had a similar experience to mine. But looking back on that year, I don't care. It doesn't matter to me. Because what I faced was absolutely nothing. Whatever problems I had were just minor specks in the grand scheme of life. These problems were not punishments handed down to me by fate. These problems were not consequences of some bad thing I may have done in the past. These problems were life. They were inevitable. But problems are what make life so enjoyable. They create the learning process and the improvement process that makes us alive. I've grown so much over my past 4 years here at EA, and I credit that growth to one main idea. I believe I've gained a greater understanding of what my purpose here in life is. See, I always used to wonder, why am I here? What am I supposed to do here? Why was I so lucky throughout my life? Who is Sameer Saxena and what am I supposed to do with him? Why was I even given life in the first place? And what is life? What is the meaning of life? It took me a while to realize that not a single one of these questions mattered. Who cares about what life means? Who cares about why we are here? The thing we need to focus on is the only thing we know for a fact, and that's that we are here. We are living, and we have an expiration date. The only question that should be asked is, what are we doing right now? Because asking that question answers the rest. Life to me has one purpose. The one thing that we should be doing right now. The one thing that we need to constantly focus on. Improvement. If you're not committed to improving yourself every day, then you're wasting your life. You're not living. The gift of life is the greatest gift of the universe. It is more precious. It is more valuable than anything else we have ever seen. Yet it does not last forever. Your lifespan is an incredibly fragile period of time. Life can be taken away in an instant. In the next few seconds, you could be robbed of mankind's greatest gift, and you could do nothing to stop it. And then you are gone. Forever. There's no next step. There's no new beginning. You're just gone. The first thing I said when I came up here is that I have been an incredibly lucky person. And that statement holds true for every single one of us sitting here in chapel. We are all incredibly lucky. Not only to be in this community, we're not only lucky to be privileged, but we're lucky to be alive. If we were unlucky, we wouldn't be here. We would not be given the gift of life, and we would not still have the gift of life. Yet I hear this life is meaningless saying all the time. If you look at the life expectancy in the US, 80 years, compared to the life of the universe, almost 14 billion years, that means our life, on average, will take up about 0.000000005% of the universe. So, it means nothing. Why try to do anything if our life is so worthless and insignificant? I look at that and see a completely different story. Our life is so small, so we must make use of every last second. Live your life like you'd be gone tomorrow. Do it in such a way that when your time eventually comes, you'll be satisfied with what you brought to this world. Because you don't get another chance. Now, life will be a cycle of ups and downs. Every high will be temporary, but every low will be temporary as well. And when you inevitably face those lows, you need to realize they don't matter. I've stopped caring about problems in life because they're just opportunities to get better. It's exciting to me. Life's job is to tell me that I'm not good enough, and it's supposed to watch me make myself better. Life will try to take us out. Life will try to make us give up. But the ones who are living are the ones that use those obstacles, use those losses, use those problems, use those rejections to make themselves a better person, to improve. It's infuriating to me to see people just sulk and give up. Life is simply too short to spend time sulking. We don't have time to sit around and be sorry for ourselves. We only have about 80 years here on earth. Let's make use of that. Yet life will be unfair. It will be stressful. It will be problematic. It will be unbearable. But we are on the good end. We were lucky enough to be born into a century and a country where we enjoy relatively equal rights, are entitled to freedom, have access to especially advanced systems of medicine, technology, infrastructure. The list goes on and on. We are relatively privileged. We are given a world-class education. And we have families that care enough about us to send us to the school. I look at this, and I'm shocked. I'm shocked to have been given so much when I easily could have been given so little. I could have been born as a 17th century African American in the South, a 20th century Jew in Germany, a 21st century refugee in Syria. I am blessed to be given this situation. That's why I've been lucky. That's why life has been fair to me. I have no reason to complain. My issues are microscopic when compared to those that other people have experienced throughout history. So it's useless to worry about what you expect out of life. If you expect life to be fair, if you expect life to always go well, it will constantly let you down. Its job is to let you down because it wants to see you improve as a result. Focus on what life expects out of you, not the other way around, and figure out how to rise to the occasion. So when you reach that breaking point, When you reach the point where you find no joy in life, when you reach the point where you want to give up, I ask you to remember this. I ask you to remember the value of this gift that you have been given. I ask you to remember the people who don't have this gift, who have lost it. I ask you to keep pushing forward, to honor those who weren't blessed with this gift. And I beg you to never, ever think about throwing away the gift of the universe. Life will be unbearable, but if you remember its purpose, to stay committed to improving yourself and the people around you, it will always, always get better. That is a guarantee. In silence, let us reflect on what we have just heard.